Lionel Messi, in 2026, still one of the most watched players in world football. To millions of fans, he represents greatness. But to others, he represents something more controversial. A question that refuses to disappear. Did FIFA favor Lionel Messi? Not once, not in one match, but across years of decisions, tournaments, and moments that fans still debate today. And in 2026, that question is still being asked again. So we investigate, not opinions, not fan arguments, just the evidence that football is not just played on the pitch. It is debated everywhere else. And when it comes to Lionel Messi, every decision becomes magnified. A simple foul becomes a replayed controversy. A penalty becomes a global argument. A referee decision becomes a trending topic within minutes. And over time, those moments start forming a narrative. For some fans, that narrative becomes, Messi always gets the benefit. For others, it becomes, he is simply under the strongest spotlight in football. But which one is supported by evidence? That is what this investigation is about. This debate does not come from nowhere. It comes from specific incidents that fans still reference. One of them resurfaced in 2026. During a high-intensity match involving Argentina, Messi is involved in a challenge with Algerian defender Issa Mandi. In real time, both players are contesting the ball. But on replay, fans focus on a moment where Messi appears to step on the opponent during the movement. The referee does not issue a yellow card. VAR does not recommend intervention. And the decision stands. Immediately reactions split. Some argue it is accidental contact in a fast challenge. Others argue it should have been at least a caution. And within hours, the moment spreads across social media as evidence of bias. But this is where investigation begins. Because one controversial moment does not prove a pattern. It only proves disagreement. To understand this properly, we need to step away from emotion. Modern refereeing operates under extremely tight margins. Officials must judge in seconds. Was the contact intentional or accidental? Was it dangerous or incidental? Did VAR have enough evidence to intervene? Was the referee's angle clear enough? Two identical incidents can produce different outcomes depending on camera angle, speed of play, referee positioning, and interpretation thresholds. This is why football controversy never disappears. And VAR, instead of removing debate, has often shifted it. Because now fans no longer argue only about decisions. They argue about why VAR did or didn't intervene. He often plays in matches where pressure is extremely high. Knockout rounds, finals, decisive moments. And in those environments, even small refereeing decisions become massive talking points. Football memory is not neutral. Fans remember what supports their belief more strongly than what challenges it. So controversial moments involving Messi are remembered clearly, while counter-examples are often forgotten or ignored. For example, Messi has also been heavily fouled across tournaments, penalized in key matches, and involved in decisions that went against him. But those moments rarely become part of the favoritism narrative. But there is another interpretation. Many analysts argue that what fans call favoritism is actually refereeing inconsistency that affects all teams, increased scrutiny because Messi is the most watched player, and emotional amplification of close decisions. Importantly, there is no verified evidence that FIFA instructs referees to favor Lionel Messi in matches. At the same time, football does not offer perfect consistency, which means controversial decisions will always exist, especially around the most famous players in the sport. So, what does the evidence actually show? Is Lionel Messi favored by FIFA? Based on verified information, there is no proof of systematic favoritism. But there is also no denying that Controversial decisions involving him are heavily amplified, and public perception has been shaped over years of debate, which leads to the real conclusion. This is not a story of confirmed bias. It is a story of perception, repetition, and football's natural inconsistency. Because in football, the same decision can be interpreted in completely opposite ways, depending on who is watching. And that is why this debate continues in 2026, not because new evidence changes everything, but because interpretation never stops changing. And as long as Lionel Messi remains in the game, this question will continue to follow him.